is Maya and I'm coming to you from Germany. Today is Thursday, 23rd December, and I would normally be working today, but I have been reported sick because I had an operation on my left eye this Monday, and now I'm not supposed to read or watch TV or work on computer for the next 2 weeks. It was quite an unexpected event. What happened to me is that I saw some very bright flashes last Friday evening, like something was flashing here, and after that, dark shadows floating around. Floating in front of my whatever I was watching. They are constantly there. So I called my eye doctor and they told me, how quickly can you come? And they said it had to be treated urgently, otherwise you can remain blind on that eye, and there were some holes on the retina, etc., etc., so that it had to be closed with a laser, and it was painful. Oh my God, it was painful. I could barely stay still, and I still feel that pain. It's like a knife poking right through your eye. So yeah, I am a little bit unhappy because my work for this year was left unfinished. I did not have anything urgent, so I can continue to work on that on at the beginning of the January. But yeah, my January pipeline is already full, so I wanted to have like a clear start at the beginning of the year. Unfortunately, it did not happen. It will not happen this way. So, but what can you do? So, if you have seen my last episode, I was talking about one incident with the garage in Dusseldorf, where what happened in briefly. Just we came after the closing hours, and we had to pay 50 euros for a guy to come and open the garage for us. And although there we were not the only ones, there were other people, but they all had to pay 50 euros. And yeah, this was the incident that we said, okay, we will stay far away from that garage. And mind you, it was not even that late in the evening. It was 8:30. They are closing at 8:30. And yeah, we were not aware of that. This time, we happened to be in the same garage, and it was not an incident, it was a real accident. And one would think, why did you come back after that unpleasant experience? And we actually didn't want to. We want to park somewhere else, but did not fit into that other garage, which was an automatic garage where you have to park, but you have to like place your tires in a specific position, and this things like sucks you in. But we couldn't park there. We were too wide for that garage. It's really strange because our car is not that big. And this time there was a lady who crashed into us, or we crashed into her. It's still undecided. I mean, it's not that we were driving very fast, but and she was not driving very fast. It's just a scratch. The damage is not big, but you know, now I'm going to stay wide away from that place. So, starting with the knitting content. I treated myself this time with some acquisitions because it's Christmas, so I gave myself some presents. And the first thing that I bought are these circular needles. It's denim edition from Knit Pro. They are lovely, beautiful, with a very, very disqualifying feature, which is like they keep unwinding when you knit. So you see they are like this greenish blue color from sizes 3.5 millimeter to 8 millimeter needles. Number 5 is on my project. This bag here holds these cords and stoppers. And I mean, they are beautiful to work with, but you know, if it keeps unwinding while you work, for me, it's a big no-no. And I was thinking about returning them because it's like when you're driving, it's like losing tires while you're driving. It feels like, and especially if you're working on a colorwork project and picking stitches in a colorwork with 3-stranded colorwork, and I'm holding my yarn double here, so I had to pick stitches between 6 different strands of yarn, and it's a nightmare. But otherwise, you know, they're quite nice to work with. This section where they are connected, it's very, very smooth, so nothing really gets stuck. And, you know, I like working with bamboo. They're quite pointy also. I think it's also very suitable for tighter knitters, and I knit a little bit tighter. So yeah, the second thing I bought are these patterns. I bought 4 patterns altogether, and 3 of them are by Jennifer Steingass because she had a 35% discount. And I bought, with discount, I bought these 3 patterns. I bought Forsythian, I bought Telia, and Garden Gate. And the last one is actually the pattern that I was waiting for to be released. I saw it on Instagram while tested, and it's really beautiful, beautiful. It's called Avena, which is type of, I think Avena is like oat in Italian. It's type of wheat. And yeah, for those patterns, for 2 of them, I already bought yarn. For Avena, I bought Holst Coast, which is a combination of 55% lamb's wool, 45% cotton. And for this, for the branches, I was thinking about stranded, something about like changing colors from dark blues into greens into yellows. And for the body, I wanted to knit it white or off-white. And you know, when I was opening the package, I was very excited to see that yarn, and the second reaction was, oh no, because it's quite yellowish, this ecru. So the colors are J, this is J, this is Marsh, J Marsh, Lime, and Old Gold, and this white is ecru, but it's, I don't know if you can see, it's quite yellowish. You can't see it here. I have the same ecru color, which I bought a year ago for another project, so you see the difference. And this is very, very yellowish. It doesn't suit my color, my skin tone. It's yellow like a German taxi, if you know what I mean. I mean, you probably don't, but it's very close to German taxi yellow. It's quite yellowish. So this made me very unhappy, and as said, I don't want to return this yarn, but I'm almost like I want to call Hele Holst and ask her if she has the whiter shade of ecru to send me. So I will think about that, if I'm going to knit it with this yellowish white or not. For the second project, for this Isabell Kraemer Humulus pattern, I also ordered Holst Coast, and I will combine it into, it's originally knitted, I don't know why it's printed out this pixelated, it's knitted in like gray yellow combination, and I decided to do the same with this silver gray yellow and this old gold. I think it's going to be a good combination. All right, the next one I bought is also from Jennifer Steingass, and it's called Garden Gate. This one I've been eyeing for months now. It's really, really beautiful. And I treated myself this time with a little bit pricier yarn. This is Malabrigo color promo. It's a little bit purplish gray. It's like when you look at the very, very dark sky before the storm. It's like a storm weather color. I really like it. And this this was the lightest version they had in this Arroyo, Malabrigo Arroyo. This is like natural white. It's also a little bit yellowish white. I don't like yellowish white. But okay, what can you do? This is the only one that was available in that lightest kind of white. So that is what I'm going to do with the garden gate. And this Arroyo is, I think, superwash. Superwash 100% merino wool. It's very soft. It's beautiful, beautiful to the touch. And last two patterns are also by Jennifer Steingass because she had a 35% discount. And this is for Zizian and Telia. I didn't buy yarn for those two yet, so I will see. So work in progress. So today I'm going to present everything backwards, from acquisitions to work in progress to finished objects and to what I'm wearing at the end. So finished work in progress is this also Jennifer Steingass. I love her patterns sweater. And I already did one in a different color combination. I mean, the top was the same, but this bottom part was different. If you have seen, I think in my first or second episode. And this one I'm working in Holst Super Soft. And ironically, when this type of yarn is called Super Soft, this is not their softest version. It's rather coarse wool, especially if you're knitting. It still has spinning oils, and it kind of blooms when only after you wash it, it becomes softer. So this is the yoke. It's really pretty. This is the nougat color, this is Oxford, this dark one, and this is the combination of two different colors, which gives this beautiful marled effect. And those two are Robin's Egg and Topaz, these two. And the light one is Nougat, and this is Oxford. So of course the yarn is held double, and I'm working on the yoke with a little bit bigger needles, with 5mm needles, and the body will be worked on with 4.5mm needles. And the first version that I made was too small for me. It's like a child size, and I hope I have knitted this time with bigger needles and with larger size. And when I look at the gauge, speaking of the gauge, it would be too big on me, but now when I'm looking at the yoke, it's not really. So we'll see. I still have like 5 or 6 rows until the end, and then I will unravel this provisional cast on and then just continue working down on the body. So yeah, this is my Christmas project. And if you can see here, there is a section where you have to carry 3 strands of different colors, and it's quite difficult for me because I'm holding double, and so I have to manage 6 strands and unwinding circular needles. It's no fun. But what can you do? The finished object I have is here, this sweater that I made of with ice yarn, the Turkish affordable cheap yarn, made of 60% wool, 40% acrylic, if I remember correctly, and it was quite a plain, unexciting yarn, and I paired it with brushed alpaca silk. Brushed alpaca silk from Drops in this peachy, light peachy, and I made very wide sleeves. I didn't make any decreases. So it was just my own design, very simple, very plain. It looks kind of too plain for me, so I'm thinking about doing something with it. And this is the only finished project that I have, because I have been working diligently on my winter sole sweater, and I was working also a lot, so I didn't have time to knit. And if you notice, I dyed my hair because I've seen on my last podcast when I bended my head that I had a lot of grays. And it's kind of sad because this time I wanted to let my natural color grow out. And then I saw that I don't have my natural color anymore. So it's kind of sad because I've been dyeing my hair since I was like 13 years old, and now that I finally like my own color, there's no longer my own color, if you know what I mean. Well, yes, so I dyed my hair at home by myself. It's quite easy and simple. And yeah, what I'm wearing something that was not made by me, but it was made by my sister for me something like about 25 years ago. And it's made, I don't know what is the wool brand, but it's some kind of Italian wool and it's holding up perfectly, you know. Of course, it has spilled a little bit, but just a little bit. And mind you, it's 25-year-old sweater. It did not fit me so tightly because I had 20 kilos less than I have now. But yeah, I still can squeeze myself into it, and it's quite warm. And by the feeling, I think it's superwash. I usually wash it by hand. I think I've never tossed it in a washing machine. Yeah, I've always washed it by hand, but I really like it. It's lovely, and it gets this slightly patterned, slightly zigzag patterned color switch. It's really beautiful. So yeah, that I think would be all for today. Yeah, what I wanted just to show when I'm talking about Holst as the last thing, I have this cashmere combination. It's just one ball that I bought for a project that I still haven't started. It's 95% wool and 5% cashmere, and this is quite soft to the touch. And I had a combination with silk, 70% wool, 30% silk. It's called Tides. This is forest. So practically I have all these combinations with, this is 100% wool. It's quite coarse to the touch. And I have this cotton combination which is softer, a bit softer. So all Holst this time, and some Malabrigo, so we'll see how it goes. So I hope you are preparing for the Christmas. You made your Christmas cookies and already bought all the presents. I still haven't made my shopping, so I'm now off to the city. I have to take a deep breath because I'm going to dive into crazy full parking lots with people that are just buying like there will be no food for the next 10 months. And have to be ready for the long waiting lines. But yeah, I have to prepare myself something to listen and just to arm myself with patience. So happy holidays and see you next time. Bye!